Hi there, Leo. Welcome to your August 2023 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Happy birthday to Leos. Oh, wow. This is a pretty idealistic or you know, hopeful reading overall. Okay. And maybe I was trying to think, I always try to tie it into the astrology because of the transits. Because these types of readings, they're so open-ended when you're just dealing with all people of one sign. And at least with astrology, you have transits that you're talking about that can be influences. And so the last card that I got here is the Star card, and that's connected to Aquarius. And on the very first day of the month, we have a full moon in Aquarius. And for Leo people, that falls in your seventh house of committed partnership. Well, ideally, but not always. But for our purposes, we'll say that. And the reason that this is significant is that this is the house of relationships. So, because the central theme of this reading is the Two of Cups, to me, it's almost like this sense of completion or something that is coming to fruition within the idea of partnership. So the heart of the matter is the Two of Cups. And because of this, when I get the heart of the matter card in the center of the reading, the first card that I draw, that to me informs the reading. Again, this is like a general reading, so I'm not tuning into anybody specifically with this particular reading. And so if this doesn't resonate with you because I'm focusing more on relationships, maybe my next reading will be more aligned with what you're dealing with. But anyway, for those who are having relationship issues, this can be the time when you decide to commit to someone or they decide to commit to you. So the issue of commitment could be front and center. This is also a card of reuniting with someone. Oh, hello. I was going to say reuniting with someone, and we have Venus retrograding. In what sign? Hello, Leo. So suffice it to say, there's a lot that emphasizes love and relationships in August for you on all fronts. So the other thing that the Two of Cups can be about is about forgiveness. Now, actually, forgiveness and reuniting with someone can be a connected theme as well. With the Venus retrograde, someone coming back into your life may not be something that you eagerly await, and you may feel like another person betrayed you, and you might not even feel like you should talk to this person. But that could be part of the dilemma. But obviously, forgiveness is part of what people are kind of wrestling with when they have those feelings. So anyway, the cups relate to the water element, which means emotions, and the two, obviously, when we think of two, we think of couples. So, as opposed to being by yourself, the two is, maybe you and someone else. And also, the two can be a decision that you feel like you have to make about something. In the past position, we have the King of Swords. Now, in terms of personalities or people, this can be an air sign, an older air sign, a mature air sign. Usually, I don't like emphasize chronological age, but it could be somebody who is like, an older adult. Um, the air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I always think of this as Aquarius because this can symbolize somebody who is kind of out of touch with their feelings, like super duper detached. And if this is a person that you have in the past been estranged from, also could be a father. So even the Two of Cups, I mean, it doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It could be, you know, some, if you're estranged from a parent and then maybe contacting you and saying, look, I realize I made a lot of mistakes, or maybe they don't say anything and you have to decide whether or not you forgive them for whatever it is that they did. But the point is that Leos are very warm. They tend to be very warm and very open in their dealings with others in terms of like emotionally. And some people are more aloof. So the air signs, especially Aquarius, is very much like that. And that can be off-putting if you're in a relationship with somebody like that and you're a Leo. That can be very off-putting because you can feel like that person doesn't really care about you. And that's, I mean, there's always a possibility that that person, isn't really in love with the Leo. But sometimes people just love in different ways. And anyway, I also believe that this can be a facet of yourself. Like you may have kept yourself on ice, kind of like trying to be as detached as possible because you were hurt by someone. And now, this could either be the person coming back in your life who hurt you, or if this is a new person, you just feel like you have to change your ways because you're going to lose that person, or that person, or now you're taking it to the next level and you need to feel comfortable with getting close to that person. Because I mean, that is like, I think that's very common for people to keep an arm's length from someone when they're hurt, but it doesn't ultimately do any good if you're trying to actually form a new relationship. As a matter of fact, the higher message, was kind of the spiritual message in all this, is the Page of Cups. And this can work two ways. Sometimes I think this is connected to Pisces, and it's funny, they have like that little heart, and it can indicate a tendency towards gullibility, where a person is way too trusting when there's no indication that they should be trusting of someone. But on the other hand, it could be about being like a child and being open to love and not being cynical and not being closed off. So it can work both ways, where someone has to learn to be much more open and to love again. Otherwise, it's going to be that vicious cycle where not only did you get burned, but then you're going to shut down for future love. And that would just be taking something negative that happened and making it that much worse. What crosses you is the magician. Now the magician is connected to the sign of Aries. So if you have been dealing with an Aries person who may have been problematic in your life, this could be your sign that yes, this person is not on your side. And if that is the person who comes back, um I'm not saying that if someone comes back and they apologize that they're lying or anything like that, but talk is cheap, obviously, and you would have to see that behavior had changed, not just somebody saying something. And also, the magician, you see that kind of a whirlpool or the vortex. This is about being a conscious co-creator with the universe, and how that could apply in a romantic relationship is the idea of, even with the sign of Leo. I mean, I think of Leo as a very successful sign overall in a worldly sense, because Leos tend to be confident and leaders, hard workers, ambitious. But sometimes these are the people in their private life who that's where they have the problems. And you might feel helpless in this regard because maybe there's been a pattern of this happening. So the two signs that border Leo on each side are Cancer and Virgo. And both of those signs, being feminine signs, are very yielding. And so if a Leo person has a lot of that feminine energy, they may tend to kind of be more passive in relationships, and they could find that it adversely affects their ability to, pick the right person and also know how to behave within the relationship. And this can also be about where your sun is in your chart, or where your moon is, because that can give those kinds of sub influences that could really make a lot of difference. So, not feeling helpless about whatever it is that's going on that's connected to your emotional life, not feeling like you're just kind of a spectator to it, but that you actually have some say over it. What's coming in is the Seven of Wands. In this particular deck, which is called the Light Seers Tarot deck, they depict this card of self-protection with a pink bubble, which is actually quite ingenious. In the Rider-Waite deck, they show like one of the wands being used as kind of like a weapon against those people that might try to impose their will on you, or to maybe they're criticizing you and they shouldn't be, you know what I mean? So and sometimes, and I really think that this may be like you standing up for yourself because of what happened before. So maybe there's like, it's almost like the Nine of Wands, which is about setting boundaries and things like that. It can be something similar. And also, like, if you're trying to go into a situation where it's kind of scary, where you want to commit to someone, but you're afraid, is that you have that pink bubble of protection, so that you never fear that you're too vulnerable or anything like that. And the outcome is the Star card. Wishing on a star, having your dream come true. This may be a dream come true for you. This romantic, or I like to say emotional development, because it might not be a romantic relationship. Maybe you're reestablishing a relationship with your father. Um, but regardless, the star card is faith in unseen forces, which means that the person doesn't have to micromanage their life to make something happen. They are willing to trust the universe. And also, the star card can be that you're receiving guidance from somebody who has crossed over. So, could be maybe that's the King of Swords. Um, let's say you had a father who was very out of touch with his feelings, and it impacted you greatly and affected your ability to be in healthy relationships. And maybe he has crossed over and you never felt you had that kind of closure or the ability to kind of improve upon the relationship. And maybe he has guided you to this love of in your life. And you can feel it. You can feel that there is divine intervention or some kind of um, hidden guidance that you're receiving. But there's a feeling of hope restored with the star card, and that could be because of what is going on in your love life. So that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I have package deals with my astrological readings. I have single readings, and I also do private tarot readings. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Thank you for watching. Bye.